Bridges are one of the world's most important human inventions. We all rely on bridges in our everyday lives, but the science behind how bridges actually work is often overlooked. One of the first types of bridges that was invented was a stone arch bridge. What makes a stone arch bridge really interesting is the fact that unless the arch is fully complete, it's not strong at all. But once the arch is complete, it's extremely strong. To understand how this works, let's take a step back for a second. Let's say we have a huge boulder sitting on the earth. Because of the boulder's mass and gravity, the boulder's weight pushes towards the ground. To keep the boulder from falling through the earth, the ground has to push up equally towards the boulder. Now let's look at how the force is transferred through the entire arch. If we push down on the top rock, the rocks on the right and the left push back up towards the center. This continues all the way down the arch until finally the ground supports the final two rocks. This system is in compression because everything is pushing down on itself. The next type of bridge is much more modern and widely used today. While it may look simple, there's actually a lot of things happening inside the beam. Let's look at the external forces first. If we push down on the top of the beam, both supports on each side are going to hold half of the weight. But here's where things get a little bit more interesting and a little bit less straightforward. Here I have a beam with some slots cut into it. This will help us visualize the internal forces. As you can see, the bottom of the beam wants to separate. You can see it happening here even clearer from a clip from my earthquake video. The bottom half of the beam wants to pull apart while the top half is pushing against itself. If I flip the beam over, you can see how the top half is pushing towards itself. For this type of bridge, the bottom is in tension and the top of the beam is in compression. This example has rubber bands that go through the bottom half of the beam to show you how the bottom is in tension. In real life, a concrete bridge will use steel to handle the pulling apart force. The last bridge we'll look at has a lot of similarities with the first bridge. However, the design is modernized and has some features that make it a lot more useful. One issue with an arched bridge like this is it's very difficult to travel over, and definitely not practical for vehicles. With this type of bridge, instead of going over the arch, a road is suspended underneath the arch. When you push down on the bridge, the cables in tension transfer the force up to the arch. And once again, the entire arch is essentially in compression, transferring the forces back to the ground. Let's see how much weight this bridge can hold. So it looks like this bridge is extremely strong, so let's see what happens when we start cutting the cables. So as you can tell, it's holding up extremely well. It looks like all of the weight could hang on one cable. I'm actually surprised at how well the platform is able to hold the weight. Here you can see how strong the arch is compared to the road. So what we can learn through all of this is that bridges have internal forces that are either compression or tension, and engineers can use these forces to make very cool, interesting, and useful bridges. I've spent the past 9 years studying many of these things, and please forgive me if I messed up on some technicality somewhere. This video is an attempt at me making the world's simplest explanation for these topics for everyone. If you found any value in this video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link's in the description below. And also a huge thank you to Micro Center for helping make this video possible. As a part of this deal, Micro Center is also giving each one of you a free 128GB flash drive for all new customers. I usually don't do sponsored segments in my videos, but because I really like Micro Center as a company and I've been going there my whole life, I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to work with them. Micro Center has all the really cool tech stuff. You could build your own PC, or you could buy a 3D printer. If you're working on a project and you run out of filament, they have a ton of filament in stock. Or you could buy their filament on Amazon. Check out all the links below, and once again, a huge thank you to Micro Center, my Patreon supporters, and my YouTube members. Thanks for watching, and happy printing.